Hello, comrade. It's Premier Rever, and I was hoping to get a little bit further with our money before we had to come back. Not much further, just a month or two would have helped, but as it stands right now, we are in debt up to our eyeballs, and we're sitting here looking down at our what I'll call our food district, right? So I did get a suggestion from Dennis, and I'm kind of glad I did. I'm always glad when I get your guys' suggestions. I love the participation. And I was really, and I still want to get over here and build a steel mill. But he said, you need to build a distillery. The steel mill is just way too expensive and you'll go too far into debt. I don't know that we couldn't make it, right? But at the same time, I don't know that we could. In other words, if we come in here and look, we only owe 626,000 and we can borrow up to 2 million, right? But that's not really where we want to go necessarily. It's once we hit the 2 million and we can't pay the interest, we're in real trouble. So what I was thinking of is the fact is that the steel mill, which would be extremely valuable for us to have, right? The payback is massive. We can export steel directly. It's also, almost as importantly, getting built over to here will get us to that export. But Dennis is right in the sense that, we can get in here and build a distillery. We don't have to use it any more than we have to use it. It is far less expensive than the steel mill would be, and it would get us a more, well, I don't know about more immediate, but it would definitely have a positive impact for like a lower cost, right? So even though I don't plan on putting in any pubs, what I did think about when I got back in here and looked at it, besides just the cost, was, yeah, I think we could put a distillery, like say right over here. We could share this bus stop. I would put in another grain factory. It's kind of a shame. I could put it over here maybe, and I think that would work, but I don't want to I would like the possibility of putting people in over on this side of town, and I think we're getting a little bit close on the potential pollution for no real reason not to put it right here, right? So, I mean, we got plenty of farmland. Unfortunately, Lykov's house is right in our farmland there. Poor guy and the family tried to move away from population, and the first place I build is right on top of his house. So, sorry, Lykov. But in any event, so what I would like to do is come in here. Now, the other problem is, if I had thought this through a little better, I might not have plopped this guy down right in the center of this. But then again, what better place, right? We'll have power right where all this industry is. So let's talk about a distillery and what we would need. I'm thinking of just using this road, and here's what I'm thinking of. We take this truck, we might have to add another one, and we fill up this grain silo first, right? Say stop here, drop off all your grain. That way we prioritize the grain to our food factory. We can adjust the food factory as needed, right? Where we may or may not export much of this. Like we can, adjust the number of people, whatever else we need to. And then the excess grain would come around here. Let's put the wireframe on while we do this. And might as well do dirt roads for now, you know what? We're going to do proper graveled roads, right? So, now, you know what? I'm going to plop the distillery down. Well, I guess not the distillery. Let's go to food, right? So we would have a grain storage silo. You know what? I think I want the modded one. Well, let's just, let's silo. Storage. Yeah. Multi-storage. Oh, and you know what? I'm sorry. I didn't look for some of your mods, but this, let's put this let's just put it right here. We'll just get an idea of the scale of things. And then let's come back to the regular and distillery. All right. So we could put the distillery. Yeah, look good. It's going to attach. What I was worried about is it not attaching to that power up there, right? Why are you red? Oh, because you're that close to being... I think I might even put it on this angle. Boy, it's getting awful far from that. let's just see, because I want to stay close to that bus stop too, right? And then let's make sure we can get the factory connection, because it's always really annoying if you build these things and can't. Right? And then off the back side here, do we need a warehouse? Yeah, well, maybe not right away, but right, we could get a warehouse like this maybe. I think that would attach with one of these. And again, we don't have to build this, just like we didn't build the one over there, you know, until we start really ramping things up. But that will, in the long run, it's good to put these things down. Let's just put it that way. So then I'm not even going to buy. Well, you know what? Let's. Yeah, we can come right through here, like say there, and then it makes a pretty nice road, right? And then this road, I think I'll bring just sort of straight there, right? And that should just be one project to come to there. And for now, I'll just delete this little bit off. Yeah, so that should all be attached to power. And just to make sure, you know what, we could, let's just make sure, does that, oh yeah, that'll fit through there. I don't want to attach that up because it'll bust it into another thing, but, and I don't really plan on building this moment. But yeah, I think that is going to be the better way to go in the long run. All right, let's turn off the wireframe. So now having done that, what I'd like to do is come up here. Now, another thing I was curious about is this is going to cost us $61,000 if we were just to finish it. Let me just check something here. All right, if we were to come here and say auto purchase with dollars, $62,000. So I'm not sure what the difference is there. But I just need the round number anyway. Let's take that off before I forget. Now, what I would like to do, and here's what I was doing. This is what was happening like in between the episodes, is where we were starting to export food to the border, right? And this truck just got there. We had gotten down to like, I'm forgetting right this second because it was actually a day ago that I recorded the last episode, and we had just dropped off a full load of food to get us back up to $1,800, and I think it was like $1,400 worth. And I think there's another truck maybe on the way, but I don't want to take the chance. Yeah, see, this guy's on his way up there. Yeah, $1,500 almost worth of food. So we're actually exporting food. So that's as far as I got. If you watched the last episode, you'll know I was sort of waiting for this food factory to fill up, and then I realized, well, we're well ahead of it just to get it go, because I was watching that money go down and down and down. So see, this guy's going to Eggham warehouse, and then the other ones are going to the custom. So I'm counting on if one truck can keep this guy full, and if not, I'm going to kind of try to keep a close eye on this. We've got a pretty good buffer. I don't think we're eating, well, how much food did we eat last month, right? Well, that's not the way to find out. This is, all right, last month, actually, industry, citizens. So we only ate like 6 food last month. So, having 100 in here is months and months worth. So I really think we're going to do, okay, at least with our food exports. Now, I don't know if we have enough trucks to go back and forth, but in the long run, let's take a look at this, why this all makes sense. Like, not long. If we come over here to food, right, and we'll try to focus on the dollars, we sell it for $2.55. Now here's a question that I didn't think of, because the alcohol does take a lot more per, like, in other words, the food is almost like 2 to 1, where we make one food per 2 crops. This is selling for $500 almost, so that's almost twice as much. And then let's just take a look back here at the industries, because this could be, these distilleries really do. So we get 6 alcohol, so that's 5 to 1. So in other words, as far as the pure number of crops go, yeah, is it worth it? Sure. But at the same time, remember, you're using a lot more of your crops, 30 crops to make 6 alcohol versus, this is like 2 to 1, 2 crops to 1 food. So, yeah, I definitely want to make this secondary at that point. But I think it does make more sense, even though the pricing difference there will be less trips up to the border, so we can do it with less trucks. And we don't really need the alcohol, so this whole thing will be like an excess thing, right? So whenever we have excess crops, we'll talk about that. Maybe we'll slow down the export of the food and get a few more people over here working. So let's get these things. I keep clicking the wrong thing. All right, we'll commit to those. All right, so now having said all of that, and look, we haven't even started time. We're 11 minutes or more into the episode. And what I would also like to do, so this was going to cost us let's just call it $65,000, round up a little bit, right? Our silo here will cost us, we'll call it $50,000. So now we're up to, 115,000. And then this guy is going to cost us 64. And this guy is going to cost us 54,000, right? So that would be like 120. Let's call it 240,000 we would need to be able to complete those things. And I think by that point, we'll definitely have an idea of whether or not we're going to be breaking even, because we really need to get to the point, even if it's just a little bit of thousands, where we can make a couple thousand a month to start paying some of this debt off. And of course, we can't do too much because of workers, right? We just really don't have that many workers around the map. So there's not too much of a hurry to proceed with this too quickly. So in any event, let's see what happens. We'll start getting this built. But before we can do that, we need to do the loan for a loan thing, unfortunately, one more time. Now, I did get a dislike on the loan for loan. I'm not sure why, if that was, who the heck knows. That's the problem with the dislikes, is it's kind of like somebody like you're walking down the road and somebody just screams a name at you as you're, or screams something at you. Well, what was that all about? I have no idea. Did you just not like that I did the loan thing? I don't really like that I did the loan thing 100%, but so in any event, we need to borrow some money and we need to talk about how fast we can pay it back. So if we already owe 200 or 626, right? So that means we need to borrow another 240,000, which would be 800. Let's call it 70,000. And then if we were just to take and divide, let's just say we wanted this to be a 1-year loan. I think we can get all this done in a year's time, right? So that would be 870,000 divided by 365 is going to be, we would have to pay $2,300 back per day, right? And if we think it's going to take us a year to do that, do we just go ahead and borrow for a year $1 million? And I think keeping the interest rate low and playing the game well, come on, get on to $1 million. Right, we go up, so that'll give us money to pay this off plus 375,000, and we'll probably find ourselves right back in this ballpark, but we will have a lower rate, right? Even though we're going to have to revisit this a little bit sooner because we're at $2,000 a day, we're only going to have a certain number of days to get all this done. So let's go ahead and do that, because I don't see any particular penalty to just keep playing this loan game, whether we like it or not, right? This is the way this map is going. So there we go. So now I want to take this one and get rid of this loan. So 6268822. All right, is that the right number? Yep. All right, so there we go. So if we come back to here, we've paid that one off. And it cost us $43,000 to give you an idea to have that money. which is not completely unfair. I'm glad it's costing us, right? But we got a little bit lower interest rate, but we only have 375,000. So I'm not sure how well this will work out. Now, the other thing I want to do, and I don't want to steal too many people from that other place, but I don't want all of the people coming from here. I was looking at that in between the episodes. Now, the mixers I'm going to still have come from here, right? But I'm going to take 2 of these buses and put them into here, right? And then, all right, we close that. Now let's make sure this guy, yeah, Eggingham bus platform. So he will start stealing people from the bus platform, which is going to hurt our production here. So let's get these things assigned out. So we need to get some roads done first, right? And you know what, do we have? What does this say? Yeah, Lake Off House. So we are getting our gravel from here, which is good. And I do have trucks coming into here, dropping off gravel. So now the only thing I don't like about the timing of what I just did is that we're still working on this road, which will slow us down. You know what, as a matter of fact, you know what, that's not that long a stretch. All right, we'll let them keep going on this road, even though in the long run, that's probably a bit of a mistake. Okay, so the bottom line here, let's take this over, close this. So I think they're set up right. I'll keep an eye on it. And then we want, well, this, yeah, see the buses, what I don't like, do we get these roads done and then, well, it's going to take the buses a little while. I don't want the people being sucked into these projects, but I guess it'll be fine. These little ones, I don't even know if we can, yeah, so we can't even get a mechanism. We can on that one. All right, well, let's see what happens. Let's start playing time forward and let these guys do their thing. All right, so there we go. So we have alcohol distillery going, and then we'll get this road completed, and that will take us just up to there. I think I'd like to get the next stretch done because the butt cheeks here, these 2 hills, are, you know, where the coal and the iron are, and I'd like to stay fairly close to them when it comes to the steel mill. But let's see what happens. The other thing, while we're here, is there any, no, there's no reason. Oh yeah, you know what? I know what we can do. Let's assign this and this. All right, and then this guy, I don't know how much he'll help immediately, but, and he'll bring concrete from down there as well as some more people. All right, so we'll get those 2 things completed. And even though it's not hypercritical, getting the university and the hospital over here is really probably not a bad idea, even though I don't know that it's the best timing to do that. So there we go. So we'll get these roads done. Let's take a look at our economy just so that when I come back, I'm going to pause in a little while and let some of this construction get completed. But let's take a look at last month. And so last month, we just exported some boards, which who knows if that's even worth it. Right, so this month should be the first time we had any food, and that was just a minute ago. So we're really going to have to wait till the end of November to get a good idea of how much food we're going to be able to export, and then we'll throw the whole thing off when we get the distillery built, right? So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so let me pause it and just get this construction done, but there we go. So we should have a distillery and a silo and this and that. The university and the hospital should help grow our population as much as possible over here. And how is our population statistics doing? It's always nice to look at this year. Ooh, kind of going down, isn't it? Yeah, so why did we go down? Well, we did have some escapes this year. Was that recent? Oh, yeah. You know, sometimes when you move people around, I don't see any. Let's go check. Make sure there's no. Oh, workers, because there's no kindergarten. You know what? I think we need to. Yeah, let's. Right, we don't really have enough people in this house, and I think we have too many in this one. All right, so let's put a few more people into here. So they're escaping from here basically because they're unable to get to work, meaning that they can't get food and stuff like that. Right, so we just stole too many people out of... And you would hope that they would... Oh, wait, no one lives there? Did I take all the people out? The game, I do wish they would be a little bit smarter as to where they went to work and how. I didn't think I stole so many people. All right, at least we have some sellers in there, so I'm going to have to keep a close eye on this, lest we have too many escapes. And, you know, I've been staring at this city for, like, forever. And then I go off to build some stuff and stop looking at it every minute of the day. But I guess it's my own fault for... Yeah, because there's no kindergarten. Small bus platform. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to... Let's add in the shopping center more than anything else, right? Just make sure we have people there. And that's prefab 2, which I'm getting confused as to which... Yeah, we just need to make sure we keep the sellers. Right, I can see it's going up, so I'll keep an eye on that before before we lose any more people. It's good to check, right? That's why we check. It's just a shame. We really don't need to lose any people at this point. All right, so how are we doing otherwise with this? Let's do this year. As far as... Yeah, we just took a little bit of a hit there. Anything else? Uneducated seems like a pretty good number. Basic education seems good. All right, escapes is a bummer. But hopefully these people will recover and become happier relatively quickly. So I will keep an extremely close eye on this. All right, we got our hospital going. So that got enough people? Barely. All right, now is this guy assigned to the hospital? No, let's do that. All right, and then let's... Well, how many's in the school? Well, let's just keep that lower then. All right, so I'm gonna mess with that. Just make sure I think we got it fixed, to be honest. Like I'm seeing the numbers going down, and the big thing is this: you need to keep the shopping. And say we just dropped off again. Yeah, that's like more important than anything else. Okay, we should have. Well, we just don't have enough people over here. No one even lives in that house. Yeah, we're sort of really at the minimum. Yeah, if we're just hardly even worth having them come up here to help do work, but we just kind of need everybody we can, all hands on deck, right? All right, so I will come back. We're about to start a new month, so we'll see how we do with our exporting of crops over the course of the month, or bread, I mean. And then we'll get this built, and we'll get these things built, and I will see you guys in a little bit. Well, once again, we've run out of money. Actually, this is the second time. So what I did was we've got almost everything completed. We've got our school, which is our university, which is, getting some students over here. We've got our hospital going, which is, positive. Look, we're already treating a patient. We really do need more people. At some point, that's going to be one of our biggest issues. At this point, we're maintaining pretty good people in our food factory, Though I have little doubt that we would be doing better with our food factory if we weren't doing this construction, right? We're pulling people off of here, and that's it. At one point, I did grab a couple people. Let's go see if there's anybody in this house. No, we could probably take them out. I don't want to denude this area too much of people, right? And we don't really have a ton. We'll let this build up a little bit more, though. Really, in the near future, we might consider moving everyone out of here. Maybe not right away, because I still want to grow the population as much as we can. But if we're not using that much gravel, that's going to be like the only thing we're really doing over here besides growing people, right? And educating them. If we look over here, we have a good amount of room for more people, but yeah, we'll just have to see. But you get the idea. Like, we might consider that, though I kind of hate to do it. But anyway, here we are. We're about to get this finished. I know that the one concrete truck that we need is on its way. And what I had done was I came in here and actually just borrowed another $1 million. And I think that's what I want to do again, just to buy us that much time to get things set up and see how we're really doing, right? So we're going to borrow this. We're going to come here, and then we're going to you can see I paid back $750, so we're digging a hole. But I expected to, because we were buying stuff, right? So at some point, what I would like to see is that once we return this money, it would really be nice to see that the amount was less. Here, I'm even going to write it down just in case I stop the game, or, because it doesn't come back unless it comes back when I'm right on this screen, but I notice when I restart the game, that's at 0. So there we go. So now we've repaid this one, and what that basically does is get us to the point. Now the other thing, let's write down the date. So we're at April 15th, because I'd like to see, when we have to pay this loan back, what rate how much interest did we pay, and did we make more than $6,000? I'm not sure if we can see that in the rest of our economy, but let's start playing things forward again, at least on normal mode. And then this somewhere, like I said, I know that there's yep, there he is right there. So we're really close to being able to get this to fire up. But let's take a look at what's happened with our economy since then. So the best thing I think to do, usually do anyways, let's look at last month. And I don't know if this is typical. Like I said, I know we would get more people, right, into here if we weren't doing the construction. So if we take a look, the vast majority of this was food, 5,000. Now, what did we import from the Western countries in the meantime, right? So I don't think that this includes, I'm forgetting. I forget whether this includes that, but we really only imported meat and clothes and some electronics. So you're talking 2,000, 3,000. So we were definitely positive when you just look at that. Now there's going to be a little fuel cost, but really none of the fuel costs are attributable directly to people. Though they are producing, we are using that fuel to produce the food for the people. So, this was 5,000 of it. So we're really in the negative at that point, but we've been doing a lot of running around doing construction that's about to slow down. So what I'm thinking is that we, as we get this thing going, hopefully we'll get everything stabilized before the end of April. And then we'll be able to look at May's numbers and see if this distillery, is going. Probably by June is my feeling that we would have things going. Now, another positive thing to look at, by the way, is that we're full of crops. I don't know about here. Yeah, see, we're just full of crops. So there's little doubt in my mind that we're going to be able to, supply and get this going pretty well. Now, we shouldn't need any more buses, right? We'll just split the people in two once this gets done, which is literally, hopefully, seconds away from getting done. So do we think that the one truck can keep up? Well, I don't think it matters, because I think we're just going to see what happens with them, whether we think it or not. All right, we're just going to say unload corn. And we're going to stop him from waiting. Now, there might be an argument towards the costs, but let's just see how he does with trying to keep up with both of these, right? So we should probably let him make a couple trips back and forth here before we get too excited. Yeah, and the worst thing about the loan, that's going to be a big thing because that's another 6,000 that we have. Now, we've been doing pretty well with the food, but let's see what happens when we, let's just split these people in half here in a few moments, and that's going to cut down on the amount of food we make. But I haven't seen, whenever I've looked, that the food we don't need to build this warehouse or add any more trucks to have this happen. Now, the truck that was coming down here to drop off food, I have him driving up to the border, which I'm kind of thinking might be a bit of a waste of fuel, even though he ends up sitting here. But the problem with him sitting here is that we really need like a road cargo station, because if he sits here, he blocks the other trucks from coming in to get food, right? So I figured it was better to send them off rather than just have them drive back and forth between here 100 times. Like, why not send him off to go to the custom house, even if he goes up there empty once in a while? But again, that's going to be a bit of a waste of food at that point. But there goes another truck for export. So are we done this? And we are... Yeah, we don't have too many crops in there. I'd like to build up a little bit of extra. All right, how are we doing? All right, oops, clicking on the same thing won't help. All right, yeah, we got 14 workers. We're not using them too fast. Let's just let him drop this off. Let's go to faster speed. Oh, is he going to get fuel, of course? Of course. Because I'd like to, we're as we ramp these things up, we're using more power, right? So we really need to get something exportable over to the Russian side of things, the Soviet side. All right, so see, he's only got, you know what? We're gonna send him. Yeah, let's send him back over to there, just so he comes back with a full load. Right, he took a little extra long. I don't like I said, I don't know if he'll keep up because this is going to use a lot of. Yeah, I'm thinking we might be better off adding another truck. Even. Let's see how he does on this trip. If a lot is taken out of here, no workers in the factory. Yeah, are the buses separated pretty well? Yeah, got a separation anyway. Yeah, see, so I think we're going to end up with another truck, but. All right, let's do, all right, 50-50 split. And then we are going to need another truck. I don't think we really, I think, this will be fine, even if I decide to do something different. Yep, there goes another 9. Oops, didn't mean to close that particularly. All right, so we need a truck to do the exporting. We're not going to do any selling in-house. All right, so we're going to take this guy up to here, load, alcohol, weight, customs house, unload anything's fine with me. I kind of like to set it up that way. So there we go. So now we have a truck ready for exporting things. Yeah, good. Now, the other thing we're working on, slowly but surely, so this guy, he's just done for a while, right? And then, so we'll just close that. And then this covered hall, we don't need to keep that open. Yeah, the question is, do we keep up with the crops? We'll come back in a minute. I'm really tempted just to put another truck on there, but we'll see. If we can keep one going, that's fine. As long as he's not wasting too much. Let's see, does he? Yeah, well, we'll see. Let's see what happens. Right, we have people, and we're producing alcohol. Good. Very good. Yeah, are we keeping up? Well, he's got 15 in there. We'll see. We don't have that many people, like I said. So we're also working on this road. And I'd like to come up here and start graveling this. All right, so we'll get this, the plan for graveling. Let's spin around a little bit. There we go. All right, good. Nice big projects. That's what I like to see. Good, we went right past that corner. I was hoping that this part wouldn't be, need to zoom out. We might, there's really no way to undo this, is there? Oh, come on. Here we are, all the way to the border. But that's a long ride. But the reason we're up here, you know, let's go slow so we don't, because I'm not paying attention, and I really need to pay attention. So I know that we can pretty comfortably do construction from, say, over here with the people, right? Probably could even zoom out a little bit more. Like we can go this far. I'm going to move this down so I know the part of the screen that we need to line up at, right? So now we have people that are in Eggenham there. And so I think we could build over to where that little triangle is. I mean, it might be a little bit far, but I think it's worth a shot, right? Because we won't really spend anything. Maybe we just... So this is where the triangle is, and that's kind of good. So this would be about as far as we could count on constructing. And then really, you know, in the long run, if we were to put... I still am going for a steel mill here. I don't know when we'll build it. We're going to kind of see how the finances go. But I'd like to start laying it out, right? So if we were just to come here, and this completely subject to being moved, where's our triangle? Right, yeah, so it's kind of far away. I want to be close enough that if we build a city over there, we're you know, close enough. So let's zoom in on this thing. So yeah, Hellas. Yeah, I think we'll be able to bus and or whatever people in this far. And that puts us, where are the butt cheeks? Yeah, that puts us pretty nice and close to the butt cheeks there. Right, and this is the way that I wanted to put it, where the train track is this way. And I think, yeah, let's put the, we don't need to line up with the wire. I want to line up with the road, but let's just see what the, yeah, I think we'd come off a little bit further so that we could maybe put in a road cargo station. No, you know what? We could get a number of trucks. There's, now that I think about it, there's, yeah, that's fine. If we want to pick the steel up with trucks, I don't think we need a road cargo station. We could always maybe do one out the back there. All right. And the biggest issue is, yeah, see, we kind of block all those road cargo stations. If I do this, I don't like the way that railroad track comes out this way. And I definitely don't like the way the road is. So I think we're going to go with this. I guess, you know what? What's the difference, right? Why don't we just leave enough room? Are we lined up with the road nicely? Yeah, pretty much. All right, so that'll be plenty of room for road cargo station, maybe even railroad tracks to do their thing before we come out of there. And then I can't really attach the roads, but, well, I can, but I don't want to mess up what they're working on. Yeah, you know, I think we're even going to come out a little extra far so that if we have a crossing, right, we'll just go like this so that, you know, there's our thing. And then in the future, we'll come over here, gravel, iron. No, Iron mine. See, we will have like real good iron mine. And I know this is, Radomir had this as not so good. So if you're using his version of the map, you'll see it. And I just did this because I didn't want to mess with, I just wanted a good iron source. I didn't want to mess with like 3 iron ore plants up here. I figured this is going to be enough of a challenge without that. Right, so that, and I don't really, just so you guys know, I don't really plan on taking advantage of this. I'm not going to have like 72 steel mills over here all taken. Like, I just really want one coal mine that's a good one, right? Because then on this butt cheek, we have, another good iron mine that we can get up here. We can feed them both into one steel mill. Maybe we could talk about a second steel mill, but I really almost think just this one steel mill. And then, we talk about steel, we can produce more over here, or we can, I'm thinking like we'll just add to the challenge because we got a lot of iron up this way, or whether it's coal, I forget which side is which. And then, I'd like to make a fancy shipping kind of thing, to produce iron and steel maybe from up here. So I'm not going to take advantage of the fact too much that I made this strong, right? And I plan that just because I had looked at the map and I said, yeah, that would be a good place. And Radomir already had steel over here on the map, or coal and iron. So don't think when I put that in there that I'm just abusing the system of, I want to keep it a challenge, but I also wanted to get a good steel mill going without too much expense. Now my plan would be, let's just see, how much would this cost to complete? 400,000. Yeah, we're not really there yet, but let's go take a look, make sure everybody else is... Are we doing okay over here? That was our truck. 3.6. No workers. That's a little disappointing. Alright, why no workers? Do we get some? 4. It could be because I'm spreading them out too thin, right? Do we have... Let's cut down on this a lot. Right, we're going to just limit that to like 5 of each because I don't think I can do less. And then we've already got that. I got that limited down to 10, which is okay with me. All right, and then the question is, how many people do we have in here? 84, 20% of 84. Yeah, see, we just need more people. So now, is our population? Yeah, good. Look, we're already up to 720 on the total. All right, let's go to this year because we're in May. All right, look at the demographics. Yeah, look, they're all just nice and steady up. That's what we want to see. Not too much whoop-de-woo on that. So now, let's see. Can we steal more people out of here? I don't want to take any. Let's keep. Yeah, I think we could steal another couple out of there. You know what? I don't think it's going to hurt to steal a couple out of here. There's nobody in there. So we'll just steal like one click of people from each one. And I think I'm just going to, well, let's see. Both houses should be going to the bus platform, right? Yeah, so I don't think it matters too much. All right, we'll just put them both in this one. All right, then I'll keep, if I play time forward during the, in between events, I might just keep doing that. There we go. So we should have a few extra people, getting more people waiting there, right? Now, what are you coming up here? Oh, you're taking... You know what? As a matter of fact, what I'm going to do... Yeah, I want to take these buses back out of here. Because I really don't want them taking people up to work on the roads. That's not what we want. All right, unfortunately, I guess it just wastes those people. I don't know what happens, but anyway, that's fine. Now the other thing is because construction has slowed down so greatly, I want to take these two guys who, for lack of anything else to do, could probably just start exporting some more wood, right? Or lumber, boards, whatever. All right, so let's take these two. I actually have to go into here first. Right, and then once they're up there, what I can do Let's just take like this guy, give them assignments. So I'll keep an eye on that while we're doing whatever else we're doing, and we'll jump back down there. So let's move over here. So yeah, we don't need this open because we already got that guy open, and so we'll see when this guy stops moving. But there they go. So they'll stop stealing our people from here, which should give us more getting up to here. All right, and how are we doing with... We don't have enough crops. Yeah, you know what? It's unfortunate that there are open halls. Let's go ahead right now. And I think we're just going to get another covered hall. Really need to get some rubles going. Yeah, so I think our next goal is just to see how we're doing. Hopefully we'll get a little idea in a few minutes here. All right, so now let's go find this guy. Easy enough to catch right there. All right, and then give that guy the same exact route. Yeah. I don't really want these guys driving back and forth constantly, but I don't want to be out of grain either. I'm just wondering, should we just have him go to this one? But I'm like, no, you definitely want to make sure this silo stays full. But I could have this guy just do like a wait. Yeah, maybe we'll do that, right? We'll just, let's have him do a wait, because we have 2 parking spaces. Right? Like we have 2 parking spaces at each of these, so they should be able, they shouldn't fight with each other too much. This guy could just always be bringing food down to the or crops down to the alcohol, and then we'll see how we go. So yeah, see, the problem with this alcohol is that we're not going to make a ton of it. But that's all right. We want to, and I'll keep ramping this up, even if it's like between episodes, just sort of a little bit more of what we're doing. Make sure we keep corn to the point that this is not stocked full, right? So I think we're going to maximize out this industry, particularly the alcohol, assuming that it's the better one to go, right? So we'll see. We'll see. Good. So we got workers, but we don't have any crops. Oh, no, we do have some crops. Yeah, I really wish they would make it so that it would push crops in, right? So that you could see this full, or give you the choice. It's sort of a strange way they've done it compared to a lot of games. Okay, so let's talk about the next thing. So the next thing is we think we can do construction like in this area. And even though it's a little bit of a long ride, that'll keep us away from the pollution. So what I want to do, we're not going to actually build this in this episode, but I just want to introduce the concept to you guys. So we're going to come like, say, here. Well, we could connect to this, right? Something happened there. Why can't I? I can't put down a road. What's going on? Put it there. Is that lag or did my... How did I get... Oh, am I hitting that? What is going on here? Something very strange is happening right here. See that? It's like there's something wrong with the map. All right, let's see what I'm saying. Like, I think there's a bridge there or something. Let's see what the wireframe says. Wireframe doesn't say anything. Can I? Yeah, I can't really level because I don't probably have any equipment of leveling. Well, that's a real bummer, whatever's happening here. Let's see, can we move over a little bit? No. Guys, I'm going to... Did you see that? Like how it jumped over to there? Like, now that's fine. Yeah, there's something going on right here. Look at that. See that? It's like it thinks there's a hill there or something weird. I've never seen this before. All right, let me just restart and see if that helps. Yeah, I have no idea what that was about. I just came, shut the game fully down, went to the desktop, came back, and there's the little road I wanted to build. All right. Now, look, is there... let's go. I thought there was a little goofiness happening. Yeah, see, look, it seems... Yeah, that's just telling me because I'm, not on a good angle with the road. Okay, yeah, no idea. I think you would call that a bug. So what I would like to do, at least in concept, is set up a little tiny gas station. Yeah, see, look, it's... Something's funny is happening. Look at that. See how it's... I don't know if you guys can see. Let me zoom in. Ah, weird. Now it's fine. Let me zoom... Well, yeah, let me zoom back out. I don't know. Well, I hope this isn't, too bad of a thing, right? So there we go. So we have a little gas station. And then... Let's go back, right? And then what I would do is plan on in this area getting another little tiny town, right? Just, I rarely ever have done this. So let's see, can we use residential buildings? I may go look for some more. I didn't really look for mods recently. Let's just come in here to mods, residential. Yeah, 4 workers. Yeah, I really don't want to go like that small, right? I mean, I can appreciate 4 workers. We don't need many. 10 workers, that's a little better. 13. All right, I could live with... So this is like a... Yeah, see, look, there it goes again. Look, now my mouse isn't even... Yeah, so let's see if I zoom in. Boy, this thing's got connections all over it, doesn't it? Like, what if we put... That would be like 20 workers. I think if we had room for 40. All right, and then what we'll look for... So the prefab grocery store, are these little tiny ones? Yeah, so we'll do like... I guess we need a road connection, right? So we'll put this guy... The devs won't take away that helper thing I can't see. All right, let's go back to the roads. Make this a little bit longer. Go back to the mods. All right, so we'll have a little tiny store. All right, and then we'll have a little tiny prefab good shop. And then what else would we need? We need a little tiny school. It's like a normal school. So I'll have to go look for a little tiny school. Right? Well, I mean, we could... Well, let's just go see. Maybe there is such a thing. Maybe there isn't. Is there a little tiny... Oh, there's just a playground. So that counts as a kindergarten? All right, maybe we'll put the playground behind these houses here. Let's do the control thing a little bit. All right, so we'll have a little tiny playground for them. And I guess that counts as a kindergarten, huh? At least under kindergarten, let's hope. Yeah, nice. Okay, so then... What else do we need? Well, we need a fire station, unfortunately. Can we get a little tiny fire station? That's kind of a big one. All right, so then, let's see, what else? Sports playground. Yeah, well, you know what? We could give them like a regular sports. They're not. That's not that big a deal. Well, let's give them a tennis court because we haven't built a tennis court, and we'll do that behind here. Right, so the things that we're missing are, and I'm going to write this down so I can go look for mods. Firehouse, little tiny firehouse, little school, and I'm going to assume for a minute that that was our kindergarten. And yeah, maybe we could put the little tiny firehouse here, and then eventually what we'd have to do is build this town up, right? Like it'd almost be like this is like a little tiny settlement, and then we come in and decide to build a big steel mill. And then what I would like to do next is let's go back to our logic of we can build that far. We'd want a construction office. Now, we'd want a bus stop of some sort. Now, it was suggested that I can use the drive-through bus stops, which, to be honest, I find them to get in the way a lot of times, but we will do it here, I think. So let's come back to roads. Delete. Let's just delete some of that. And then we'll do, where's the bus stop? Yeah, bus stop. All right, we'll do like a drive-through bus stop because we'll need that no matter where our construction office is. We're going to need, we're going to need that. We're going to need the bus stop. And this will give us a little room to get more people or something. We can maybe get a road off of here somewhere. Let's do it now, I think. We'll just have a little crossroad in the town just to hold the space for it. All right, so we need firehouse, school that we don't have. I mean, we're not going to worry about hospital or university. This would just be like little tiny town, hard scrabble, down on their luck. That kind of thing. And then, so let's come back over here. And I want to do the same measurement thing I did in the last bit before I got interrupted, right? So I know I can construct about this far away, more or less in the middle, right? So let's come over here and say we would need, another little town over in this area by Smokehassakan. Oh boy, could we get away with going that far? Yeah, this could be, or do we even, no, you know what, we could construct here. I don't think we need to build another town now that we could in the future, but what I'm thinking of is, and this is just to not cause a problem, we can always redo this, right? Is this gas station cheaper? No, it's the same thing. It's just a drive-through. Yeah, we'll just go with the regular. We need to make the road. Oh, no, you know what? We can put it on this side of the road. So then we're going to need to get power to here and there, right? But then we could just get a little gas station. We don't need any workers. And then if we had that gas station, I think that's going to be close enough to the border that we shouldn't have them running out of fuel if we send them there, right? And then we'll have this gas station here. So between the two, there's a gas station, right? This will allow us a little bit more construction that much further where we could start getting in here and start doing, we could build a bigger town, maybe a little closer to the steel mill. But this would give us enough that we could get people bused from here to the construction in this area. And most of these things, yeah, see, they're not going to cost us any steel, which is great, too. We're very, yeah, that's nice. That's tiny, right? Yeah, so I like that. All right. Well, there we go. So let's take another last look. I'm not sure. I have no idea how long the episode is. It could be 2 hours. I know it's not that long, but definitely have accomplished what we wanted. Now, have we exported any alcohol when I wasn't looking? Because, look, this is worth 2,800, which is, and he's not quite full yet. Now, do we have... Yeah, we have crops in there, which is all we really need to see, right? It's actually kind of good that we're using them all up. I'd like to find a nice balance there. All right, these guys are still sitting there waiting for food to be exported. So I don't think our food exporting at this point isn't slowing down our production of alcohol. So we'll see. Like I said, I'll probably ramp that up between the episodes. So let's go and take a look. It's possible that this guy snuck up there, but let's just look at this year. Exports. Oh yeah, look, we did. So we took some alcohol up there. 22. I'd like to sort of switch that alcohol for food over time, right? But let's not mess with things too much. But that's great. So, you know, we got that. So let's just look at last month. Or you know what? We're going to play forward a little bit faster so we can see what May looked like. Because last month, yeah, we didn't get any alcohol or boards last month. Or alcohol or food. I'm sorry, we didn't get any alcohol exports. So if we come back to here, last month was 6,000 import, fuel, cement. We should be done with that. And fuel's the big one. Now another thing to look at with the fuel is how's this guy doing, right? Because we are still paying for fuel to get this road built, right? Which is well worth it. Because if we run out of rubles, we're done, because that's how we're getting our power at this point. Well, I guess we could borrow money and we could borrow more money and start hooking up to the NATO power grid. Yep, and they do have power right there. So we could do that, which might be a way to save some rubles, but would also be costly. It's the kind of thing I'd love to do after the steel mill was built, right? So that we can get that. But then if we can get these gas stations in before we run out of money, then I think we're going to be in good shape. And if we can just get to the point where we're break even and able to pay off the loan interest, that would be excellent. Like there goes a big shot in the wallet there, up. there goes two of them. Nice. All right. So now, yeah, we'll see. I'll have to look at this. I'm just trying to wait till we get to June, and then we can take a look together, and then I'll call it quits. All right. And the other thing I might do between the episodes, just like extend that loan out again. I mean, but it would definitely be nice to see that we're able to pay it back at this point. And again, I expect that. Yeah, there we go. So let's just hit play normal, and then let's take a look at our economy. Last month, yeah, we did get an export last month, which we that was actually 2 trips. Look at that. So Dennis's suggestion certainly seems to be paying off, because instead of having to take 3 trips, we only took 2, less fuel, and less people, right? Because the same number of people are turning more crops into an exportable product. So that's definitely an advantage. So what I'll probably do is try to start, at some point here, let's do like this, right? So we'll send some more people, 60%, 61% over to the distillery, so that we keep that distillery using up the crops. And then the other question is, how are we? Well, we still have plenty of crops to go. So the balancing act is to make sure we don't run out. Do I put more trucks on here? Do I steal them eventually off of here? So I'll be real careful if I do anything between the episodes. But, well, let's take a look at last month. I didn't really pay enough attention. So we exported 10,000. The problem is, I don't really know how much the loan cost us in the same period, right? So, I mean, yeah, food, clothes, electronics, that's exactly what I wanted to see. I want to see how far this fuel drops down now that we're, like, not doing any construction. And then when we come back in the next episode, well, we should probably can we start I guess we could start constructing this, though we do need to get power up here. And I had another suggestion. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting exactly who gave it, but even though it might not be the best thing in the world, let's come here. how much... This doesn't really tell us how much of all the things, right? This tells us how much. It doesn't really tell us. Yeah, let's go with the 1.2 megawatts versus the 0.65. But this, there we go. Yeah, see, this just needs boards and electronics. So I'm thinking what we do. Yeah, let's just run this reasonably straight over to here, right? Kind of parallel in the road. Can we make the turn? Yeah. And we'll run this up to here. Yeah, I think I'd like to run it. Ooh, what happened? It's getting to this spot again and getting finicky. There's definitely something going on over here. All right, so I want to run it right past and down that road, right? And then, because I'm thinking we'd be better off with the power. I think if I built anything else, it's going to be over this way. So what I would like to do is, if we put a substation in, I'd like to put it as far so as to cover anything that would go on in this town, but maybe cover our new next town as well. All right, we have to keep the same. You know what? Let's do it from the other side. Angle too sharp. Come on. Now you should be good to go. All right. So that's not too bad, because even though it's a fair amount of electronic components, it's not. You know what, though? In anticipation, future anticipation, let's come up here, right? And then we would put in a medium voltage switch. Like, say, here. No, why do you not like that? Oh, two different types of wire. I'm so happy to. All right, and then you can get cut back a bit. All right. Will you just go right there? Okay, go right there. Right, and so then in the near future, well, might as well keep with the thought, right? Let's just parallel the road. Are we better off just going from... You know what? We might just be better off going from here. Right. I don't know. How far is that? That's about that far. Nah, I think we're better off going from here. I think it's about the same. Let's just keep... Oops, not there. All right, we'll keep that. Make it reasonably parallel to the road. And then we'll just put this substation like right in here. And then do we do another switch, or do we just hook these up? Okay. Just hook them up. Could always put another switch in later, but that would get us, you know, the power that we would need all the way out here. All right, guys, I'm feeling like the episode is definitely long enough, and I don't want to go any further. But you guys get the idea of our future plan, and when we come back, you know, we'll have a much better idea of how we're doing with the alcohol, and I'll try to keep ramping this up a little bit, but come back relatively soon, because I want to get that construction going towards all of this. You know, the sooner the better that we can get an export over to the rubles. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for all your likes and subscriptions. Subscriptions have really gone up in the last couple weeks, and I know most of you are already subscribed, but if you're not, consider it. And if nothing else, thank you for the likes. It definitely makes me feel good when I see likes. just kind of makes it all worth it in a sense. So thank you guys. Have a good day. Take care. Bye-bye.